A common misconception about the Holocaust is that all concentration camps are extermination camps. In this video, I'm going to tell you the differences between concentration camps and extermination camps. People heavily associate concentration camps and extermination camps because most concentration camps were also connected to extermination camps. Concentration camps, like Auschwitz, had a part of the camp for the living quarters, the concentration portion, and part of the camp for the extermination part, the killing center. The Sonderkommando photos are one of the most chilling photos taken from an extermination camp. These are the only 4 documented photos from the Holocaust from inside an extermination camp. In the first 2 photos, it depicts Nazis throwing Jewish bodies into a fire pit. In the second 2 photos, it depicts women being led to a gas chamber to their inevitable death. One key difference between concentration camps and extermination camps were extermination camps were intended to kill people. It should be noted that I could not find any survivor testimonies from people who survived from the inside of killing centers because most people were sent to their immediate death. One of the most well-known killing centers is Treblinka. Treblinka was one of 3 killing centers in Operation Reinhard. Treblinka is also one of the biggest killing centers. It is located in a remote forest in northeastern Poland. Approximately 850,000 people were killed at Treblinka, and there are only 67 known survivors, none of which are alive anymore. Zyklon B was used to suffocate and kill people in Treblinka and other killing centers. Jewish prisoners at Treblinka and other camps were trained to be a part of the Sonderkommando, or special squads. Jewish prisoners were trained to help with duties involving the gas chamber and cremation, and this was to avoid the German soldiers having psychological damage. Elihu Rosenberg was a Sonderkommando at Treblinka. He says,
בבירקנאו, אלא פשוט מאוד ממנוע רוסי, בטנק רוסי, אז זה הריל, חנק את האנשים אחרי 25 דקות, כולם היו נחנקים. נורא היום היה לשמוע את הזעקות ואת הייסורים של האנשים ושל הילדים, וזעקו מה מתתה, ואחרי כמה דקות נחנקו. היה שם גרמני, גוסטף מינסברגר, הוא היה אחראי על תאי הגזים, על הקלפות האלו. הוא עלה על הרמפה, הוא שמע, aufmachen, לפתוח, alles schlaft, כולם ישנים. מתי שפתחנו את הדלת הזאת, ובפנים היה בערך, אני אומר בערך 400 איש, 350, כולל הילדים. הם היו כולם עומדים, וכשפתחנו הדלת, הראשונים נפלו. ואחר כך היה לנו יותר קל להוציא אותם. אני מוכרח להגיד את זה, בונו שלמה. כשהוצאתי את הגוויות וזרקתי אותם למטה, בלשון גסה, עם ברירה, מהתאי הגזים הייתה רמפה, הייתי חייב לזרוק אותם למטה, ושם לקחו אותם עם האלונקות. כמעט כל אחד ואחד, ודיברנו מהרופאים גם בארץ, כל אחד נאנח, הוציא את האוויר האחרון, כי זה לא היה גז מרעיל, זה היה עשן רק.
The Nazis did not discriminate when it came to killing people who were not able to work. Samuel Willensberg was also a Sonderkommando at Treblinka, and he knew very well that the Nazis did not discriminate when it came to killing.
Jeden epizod, który został u mnie w pamięci, to był inwalida, który wyszedł z wagonu i z protezą na nodze i doszedł do SS-owca i się przedstawił, że jest żołnierzem był I wojny światowej, oczywiście jako niemiecki żołnierz. I ten Ukrainiec, SS-owiec powiedział, ja, good, Gęziwakasza, idź prosto, i go zaprowadził do lazaretu. I tam przyszedł, mówił o swojej chorobie, zdjął protezy i tak prowadzili go, trzymając go pod rękę, Vorarbeiter na rampę usiadł, dostał kulę w głowę. Nie pomogły krzyże jego, tu miał krzyż żelazny i jeszcze jakieś zaświadczenia chciał pokazywać. To wszystko było nierealne.
In contrast, Auschwitz was a concentration camp that was connected to an extermination camp. A key difference of concentration camps was that they were used to house prisoners, regardless of how bad the living conditions were. It was estimated that 75 to 90% of Jewish prisoners were deported right to their death. The prisoners chosen to be kept alive were usually subjected to forced labor. These jobs were typically long, hard hours of physical labor. Some jobs included digging ditches or forced factory labor. Aggie gave off was subjected to forced factory labor. She says,
Auschwitz was a horrible place, but it was a place where the Schindler's List movie was made. Of course, it looked different later. We had to carry big rocks up a hill one day, and the next day we had to carry it back. So it was also humiliating, also senseless, and my sister...
Just carry a rock up
Just
and,
carry it up
and
the
carry
hill.
it back down.
Next day.
And then you had to also then later break up some of the rocks and put them in the ground.
Yeah, we had to break them up and put them...
prisoners suffered from abuse and neglect from the guards. If they did not follow their strict routine, they would be punished. To add to that, the living conditions were horrific. The prisoners' rooms did not have furniture or beds. The only place to use the bathroom was the designated laboratory area, which were essentially holes in the ground. The only water that was accessible were in the kitchen barracks, which was inaccessible to prisoners. Stephen Fens, Auschwitz survivor, says,
the conditions were horrible. One day a week, one occasion a day to go to the latrine. Older inmates advised you to take a pebble so you have something to wipe yourself at the end of using the latrine, because toilet paper was not one of the things provided. Food, horrible. And very soon, understanding that the other side meant the gas chamber and the crematorium.
with terrible living conditions came starvation. Starvation was one of the biggest causes of death in concentration camps. Prisoners were served meals with little nutritional value. Unfortunately, medical experimentation also occurred in concentration camps. Medical experiments were performed on prisoners despite medical ethics. Some experiments included drug testing on prisoners as well as the advancement of Nazi racial and ideological goals. Overall, the biggest difference between concentration camps was that prisoners were kept alive for longer, but at an unfortunate cost. They were subjected to forced labor, starvation, and medical experimentation, compared to being killed immediately at an extermination camp. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you better understand the differences between extermination camps and concentration camps.